Hey, welcome back everybody. Welcome back to my channel, AmusedJester, and my name is Junior. And today we're going to go ahead and review two Star Wars TVC figures. They're kind of interesting in a way that this is actually a reissue, and this is from the Gamerverse, I think, Expanded Universe. So I'm not really familiar with both of them. But here they are. This is Vindin. He is a reissue. And this is Shae Vizla. In the back, I suppose at this point it does help the whatever. There's nothing here about who Shae Vizla is. What the heck? It just says celebrate iconic moments from a galaxy with figures inspired by the Star Wars video games. That's it. And yeah, the same thing. Oh my gosh. So there's no background whatsoever between these two characters. Anyway, let me go ahead and open them up and we'll see what's going on. Alright, so here they are out of packaging. Here is Vizla. Vindin. What I do know about this character is that he's a Cantina, I wouldn't say resident, but he is known in the Cantina version where, and I think that's his ticket to his fame to glory thing. So this is the recent re-release. This is this is the recent re-release of this figure. Here's the, so he's got the good paint application and everything. Get some nice detail, but as you notice, and this is what I didn't know, was he still has this forward and back. That's it for the crotch movement, which, and then let's see, at least he has a left to right movement on the ankle. Got this one. I'm not really expecting much on the bod torso, so he's just a waist articulation, but at least he has articulation on the elbow. This is, I paid full price for this one, $16.99, and I feel like usually on characters like this where it's just a reissue, my first go-to is to look for the older version. Even though the paint application on this one is good, I would just really just go back and to the old, I think this is the Legacy, or it could be a vintage collection in the early numbering, but yeah, so this would be a level 3, maybe level 4, because of the lack of articulation on the hip joints for me. Definitely this is kind of like a tier 3 character. He looks good and everything. It'll populate maybe a tier 4, honestly. It will populate my alien population, but I don't know anything about him. And the Cantina scene in Mos Eisley is not something that I need to do. Actually, I bought the files to do my own Cantina, and it will probably take I don't know, 50 kilograms of filament, so not a lot, and it'll probably take me probably a week to print, but really I don't have any room for it. So even though it's at least I'm not paying like $500 or $400 for it. Now let's see what's going on with this one. Does he fit in my new pegs? He's loose, so his peg holes are actually bigger than usual, so or bigger than the current ones. He's just way too old for my pegs. I mean, it still works though, see? It's just not as secure as this one where I could just like, sorry about that, hang it like that and it's not gonna move. He's gonna fall down. See? It still works, you just need to press it down and everything. So for me, the value on this one is 9 because I was disappointed that it still has this. I would not purchase any. I would not gleefully or joyfully purchase any of a Star Wars figure that still has this. I believe reissues should have everything updated, especially if you're gonna charge us $16.99, which was then the highest price. This was before they moved up, or slightly before they moved up to $20 pricing. So that's kind of disappointing. I'll give him a value of 9 because of that. If it had been a little bit more better, probably like value of 10. So this is Shae Vizla. The only connection I have with Vizla is the fact that it reminds me of the one in the Clone Wars pre Vizla, as the leader of that faction in the Mandalorian, and then of course Pax Vizla, which is the one played by Jon Favreau in the Mandalorian. Oh my God, she is also a move. Oh my gosh, I thought she at least have better articulation on the hips. It's not. It's the same one. Jeez. This I got for $10, so at least it's not as big a mistake as Bomb Vindin, and I'm not sure if this is the reissue version. So this one, Bomb Vindin, even though he's a issue, he still has the 53 numbering of the old one. So he was part of the vintage collection from before. There is something, supposedly something that tells you that this is a reissue of an older character. But it's a new system that I'm not familiar with. I'm sorry I keep hitting the camera. It's a new system I'm not really familiar with, or if they've even implemented it on this character as yet. And then, of course, Shae Vizla is also a Vintage Collection 101. Yeah, oh my gosh. I believe they started changing, though I'm not entirely sure, they started introducing characters with a different hip joint at around 188 or 180 or something like that. So oh my gosh, because the thing is, I'm not really that versed in when it comes to the earlier vintage collection figures. When vintage collection came out, I wasn't interested in it because of the articulation that's going on. So this one, I'm not sure if this is a reissue of Shae Vizla or the last one, the original one. But trying to look at the paint application. Sorry, the paint application looks pretty good for something that came out. Let's see, 100. So it should be like maybe 4 or 5 years ago. So this is probably the original one. Probably came before face printing, and I think that's pretty much face printing right there. So this is probably a reissue recently, but I'm not entirely sure. So the only thing that kind of makes this character interesting to me was the fact that, of course, she was on sale for $10, and that's it. That was because it was on sale for $10. So this character for me would be another tier 4, level 4 figure. Oh, you can put fire effects on both. And also, one of the things that would probably interest me on this one is the fact that she's a Mandalorian, so she can go into my she could increase my population of Mandalorians. And she doesn't have holsters for these guns, so she's gonna have to be holding it the whole time, or she'll probably lose it too. This is another value 9. Honestly, because I didn't realize that she also had those forward hip joints. And This one I got from Amazon, so there was no way for me to install. Bomb Vindin I got from Target, and I just got it. I don't know why I even got it. So, like I said, it's not a character that I'm familiar with. This one is really cool, though. I mean, it's got some really nice detail for a Mandalorian, but it's not something I would go out looking for. You know, it was just something that just popped out. She's got a replaceable helmet here. So if I ever were to see her at Ross for like $4 or $5, I'd probably pick up another copy or so, just to add it onto my Mandalorian thing. But it doesn't, her helmet, even though it's helmeted, it doesn't have the usual Mandalorian design. So let's see, is her peg system also different? So this is one of those that has the pegs up in front of the feet. And I don't know, I just got lucky in the placement of my pegs. They still kind of work in terms of, see, where they are within the base. Even though she's probably around the same time as Bomb Vindin, hers is tighter than Bomb Vindin. So I'll have to watch out. Maybe I'll look out for more of these vintage collections in the lower 60s, 50s, and see if the peg holes that they've created for these are larger generally in the earlier ones, because I do kind of want to know up to what point does my plate work, and then it becomes not working. But yeah, again, another value of 9 because of the leg thing. I'll take off the helmet and hopefully I won't lose it. And I really do like her face, because I mean, if you're gonna improve for the face printing, you might as well show off that face, right? So yeah, they're both valued at 9. He should probably be lower, honestly, but that I do like that face. I actually like this character, this figure, more than this one if I'm looking at it. Yeah, $16.99, value 9, $10.49 or something like that, value 9, for the vintage collection reissued figures. That's it for my review of both of them. Thank you for watching. I hope to see you guys in my next review. Bye.